they want to know a little bit more, but we're probably just going to repeat everything we talked about there. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do Shawshank.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Editing Academy. I'm Darryl.
I'm Laura.
And little baby clap.
Huh.
I don't know why.
So easy.
All right, we are here to talk about my number 3.
You're number 3.
Shawshank Redemption, which we've already talked about before. We'll link it in the description below. And this is probably going to be a much shorter version than we normally do because we have talked about it before. And I'm finding as we get closer and closer, there's really less to say. It's
so
more
emotional. Yeah.
All right, so Shawshank Redemption, released in 1994, written and directed by Frank Darabont, based on the 1982 Stephen King novella Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. Stars Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, Bob Gooten, William Sadler, Clancy Brown, Gil Bellows, James Whitmore, bunch of other people, but those are the principals. Was nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, Best Sound, and Best Original Score. Did not win anything, unfortunately. Okay, why I love this movie so much, and we definitely touched on this when we talked about it before, but I'm going to go on a little slightly deeper rant. This movie at its core is a love story between two men that is entirely platonic. It does not touch on anything, there's no hint of romance, there's no hint of sexuality. It is just two men who absolutely come to love each other. They don't get along in the beginning. Well, they don't not get along, but it takes a while for them to develop their friendship. And the movie, time jumping through, you just see this relationship get deeper and deeper and deeper. And this movie, particularly in the 90s, we're both 90s kids.
Yep.
In the 90s, men were starting to discover how to talk about feelings. And this movie, when I watched it, made it even more okay for me to go, oh no, I don't care if a good friend of mine is male and I express that I really like that person and someone else makes fun of that anymore, because that was kind of a big thing.
Yeah, it was.
You would get made fun of.
Because you say kids of the 90s, we were a little bit kids of the 80s.
Yeah. So this movie reinforced that was something that was okay, and it made me feel okay to be able to express to my male friends certain things that I felt comfortable and genuinely felt.
Right.
The reinforcement of all of that and watching that play out just made it safer for me to be able to do that. That is one of the principal reasons why I love this movie so much. It gave permission for that.
Fair.
The movie itself is just brilliant. We talked about it before, but Frank's direction, he knows exactly how long to stay on a scene. He knows how to frame that scene. He knows when to cut away. Each scene has exactly the right amount you need to move to help the plot along, to help the character development. Each scene accomplishes multiple things all at once. And it's all these perfect puzzle pieces that come together to tell this beautiful story in the most unlikely of places.
And over the course of 20 or so years,
Correct, yep.
too, of some of these puzzle pieces, especially when it comes to Andy's story and the death of his wife and her lover, we find puzzle pieces 15, 20 years down the road.
Yeah. We touched on this before as well, and you really helped me, enlighten me the last time. So when I watched it again for this one, it was even more prevalent. And a lot of people misunderstand whose story is actually being told here. It's not Andy's story, even though that beginning, which I still am okay with, does set it up to make it seem like it's Andy's story that's being told, and it's not. It's Red's story the entire time.
Yeah.
And once you know that, and you watch it, it even gives a further depth, because you're not tricked along the way to thinking you're being told one story when you're being told an entirely different story. And so thank you for that, because it made this experience even more enjoyable this time.
I completely agree with you. I love this movie. I think it's a fantastic movie. I don't love it like quite as much as you do, but it is a movie that, again, you catch it on TV, it's playing, somebody says, hey, let's watch it, you do, because it's so enjoyable. And start to finish, like every scene, there's not a wasted moment. The performances are what I want to talk about a little bit, because again, like you're just given a little bit of dribs, a little bit of drabs of everybody and
Yep.
who they are. It's really how they present themselves and the things that you see them doing that you decide who they are. Like Tim Robbins as Andy, for instance, you know, he couldn't connect. He was a bit of a cold fish.
Yeah.
You know, he was very deep and a deep thinker, and Red watched that, you know, and kind of took that all in, and I think their relationship built a little bit over the years, and again, these are relationships that could build over years.
Yeah.
They had time.
Yeah.
They had years to build this relationship. He just let that slowly unfold. He let Andy take his time to be comfortable.
Yep. And I think maybe one of the reasons why there are a lot of prison movies where people set things in prison is because you are allowed the opportunity for a lot of conversation and development, because in prison there is nothing, you don't have anything
Yep.
else but that. And plus, you know, just the inherent boredom and tension of being in a prison does lend itself to being a little bit more on the dramatic side.
Yep.
So you can have these conversations, you can slowly get to know and understand somebody, because like you say, you have nothing but time on your hand.
Mhm.
So you do get to see you don't need a lot, you just get a little bit here, and then 5 years later you get a little bit more. It is such a beautifully quiet film.
Yes.
I mean, there are moments of action, unfortunately,
Mhm.
because usually the action is not good for Andy.
Yep. Violence.
But it is so beautifully quiet, and every person that is in this, first off, everybody is just beautifully cast, and everybody, the dynamics that develop over the years, those become important and play off each other as time develops. It's all just such perfectly built on top of each other to get to the end. While I'm not a massive fan of that last aerial shot, I understand it. I understand its importance. I don't know how else you would end it, but I would like something else besides that aerial shot.
All right, so let's talk about the ending, because again, they were originally not going to have the ending of the reunion.
Okay.
They were just going to stop with Red on the bus journeying his way to Andy,
Okay.
and knowing that, you know, or believing with that hope that something good was going to come at the end. I think they needed a reunion. And I'm perfectly happy with the shot, because I don't think we need to see it. We know their relationship. We know what their friendship is and how deep that is. So knowing it happened, I'm perfectly content with that. Do you not like the scene? Do you not like the fact that we had to see the reunion? Would you have been happier with the bus?
No, I'm fine with seeing them reunite. I just don't like it as an aerial shot.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how you would have done it, because I don't want to see them like run and embrace each
Yeah.
other. I don't
And
want.
they kind of do.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah.
Well, it's
But
implied.
because it's so far away.
Yeah. So I don't know how else you would have done it. I don't know. I just don't like it as being above, because it is so vastly different than everything else that is shot in the movie.
Yeah.
And I just wish they could have figured out a way to have that same impact, but have it still have the same feel.
See, but it wasn't vastly different from everything else in the movie. To me, that was Red's freedom, just like Andy's freedom was also kind of an aerial shot of when they show him coming out with the water.
Okay.
So I'm seeing those as a little bit of mirrors.
Okay.
That's the only other time we did get one of those high shots.
Yep, no, you're
so
right.
I'm
You're
seeing as kind of both of their moments of freedom.
Okay. And I will accept that, and I will.
Still don't like it, but that's okay.
Like aerial shots are always tricky for me anyway. Like a lot of times they just don't work. They
Agreed.
An aerial
I don't
shot
like them
seems
generally.
like you're putting so much importance on something, and I don't know. I've never been a huge fan. A lot of times they work, but a lot of times they don't.
Mhm.
And I just wish it could have been accomplished in a different way. I get what you're saying,
Yep, yep.
and I agree. I think that was good that there was a mirroring there, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't really have a lot. The movie allowed for something to open up inside of me, and every time it just reinforces the choices that I have made with friends, family,
Yep.
the way that I'm able to very freely express myself and thank people for being in my life and things like that. A lot of that is stemmed directly from this movie.
That's amazing. That's very cool, and no wonder it holds such a place in your heart.
Okay, that's it. We said this was going to be short. Link down for the other description. Thank you all.
Bye.